and welcome back to my channel. I'm super happy that you're here today, and I'm so excited to be sharing my finished tour of Foxgrove 2.0. If you haven't been following along with my progress on Foxgrove, this is set in the winter time, and it's kind of a vintage, loosely European themed island, kind of like a village or town core kind of theme with lots of antique sort of aspects to the island. Before we get too far in the tour, I do want to take a second to just thank everybody for following along with all of my progress making this island. It's so much more special to make the island with all of you than it would be if I were just doing it all alone. So I just want you all to know that I appreciate your friendship and support so much. Before we get into the tour, I do want to mention that Foxgrove 1.0 is gone forever. I did save over it to release this DA, but there is still an island tour of it if you ever wanted to go back and check it out. I did leave the flag for this island the same as the first version, both for kind of nostalgic purposes, but also because I'm lazy. But before we get too far in the tour, I'll go ahead and show you guys the map. I have two player characters on this island, myself and my husband Robert, who is the island teacher. And the villagers on this island are Olive, Eugene, Ellie, Pashmina, Kiki, Chev, Nan, Raymond, Eric, and Flurry. And you'll notice that the terraforming is a little bit wonky on the map as well. It's because I've used so much in-game custom design pathing, not in-game pathing, as well as like really structured terraforming to make the different buildings on the island. So definitely not as aesthetic as some of the maps that I've created in the past, which is totally fine. But as you get off of the airport, we are greeted by this kind of reclaimed sort of castle here. I wanted a lot of the buildings to look like they had been there for a long time and just repurposed to kind of fit new needs. But there is a little newspaper stand as well as a place to get some baked goods on either side here, perfect for an entrance. And I wanted to include some of the new car items as well. And I did go ahead and put like little puppies throughout the island as well because I just thought that they were kind of cute. I don't typically use them, but you can see here is the path to resident services. I've left some gifts out for you guys for when you visit, and most of this island is very symmetrical in kind of like square blocks, so it's pretty difficult to get lost. You can pretty much just wander any direction. Behind resident services is this little railroad. I really struggled with the area behind resident services because I didn't want to just include more of the castle walls. I wanted to have at least something a little bit interesting back here, so I went ahead and just threw a little train station. So I just went and included this tiny little train station, very symmetrical. A lot of the things that I did on this island were very symmetrical, and I tried to keep them more on the simple side because I do tend to fill up every single tile when I'm decorating, and I just really wanted things to be kind of simple and beautiful and kind of antique or vintage feeling. But here is my player character's home. I originally wanted this to be a inn. Also, hello Eric. I wanted this to be like a hotel, but I'll be honest with you guys, I really didn't feel motivated to actually decorate the interior, so I threw some construction items in the main room because I thought that that would be kind of funny. And the outside is just very simple with some places for people to sit as they're visiting the hotel. So that ended up being a much more simple build than I originally thought it would be. But as we continue up the street, we have a little post office here. Just I feel like every island really needs to have a post office, but I love the way that the storefront looks with the medieval building side. I just think that those items look so good together. But we're gonna head down the block here into this reclaimed castle. So the castle has all four walls with these row of pergolas in the center, which I absolutely love. On either side of the castle, we have a little cafe and a bakery. I love the little truck design there for the cafe, as well as some of the new food items from the update. I just think looks so good there. And our entrance to the castle here is very simply done with a little place for people to make music and sit and enjoy their coffee. I'm going to double back here really quickly and show you guys this little apartment complex that I made next to the entrance. Again, a very simple build, but I love the way that this custom design pattern looks with the different kind of castle wall items. I think it blends so well. I do want to mention that all of the custom designs that I'm using on this island are linked in my card, which is always in the description box of my video. So definitely go and check those out if you're interested in using any of the codes that I've used here on the island. At the end of the street here, we have a little place to sit as well as a little hand washing station, and it leads us into an aisleway here. I love the way that the alleyway looks with the storefronts. I think they look so good, and this is going to lead us into the shopping district. So to kick off the shopping district, we have a clothing store. I felt so inspired by all of the new clothing items that we got in the update, and I just really wanted to use them all. So you can see I've created the illusion of a bigger building behind there, and I just think that it adds so much visual interest to the build. I love the way the hats are displayed as well. I feel like it gives it a very vintage kind of feel, which is definitely what I was going for. And this kind of kicks off the shopping district, as I mentioned. I wanted this street here to be very simple. We just have some barrels and kind of like shipping items, and then up the incline we have another alleyway here with some baked goods being sold. And that leads us to the center of the shopping district, which is this little, I don't know, would you call it like a pavilion kind of area? But I love the way the museum kind of peeks out in the background. I feel like it looks so good. I struggled so much with this area. The symmetry and the pathing were so difficult to kind of navigate and figure out how it was all going to flow together, but I'm really pleased with the way that this turned out in the very end. To the left of this fountain, we have Nook's Cranny. I wanted to cover up Nook's as much as possible because I just didn't feel like the building itself really fit super great with this overall kind of aesthetic that we're going for, and I love the way that it turned out, kind of covered up with all of the castle items, and the fact that the roof is covered in snow I feel like just kind of completes the illusion even more. But I just went ahead and threw out some kind of like supply items, like we have some fertilizer. I love the way the shopping carts look here, and then tucked by the beach side we have all sorts of items that have been shipped to Nook's. I do want to mention that I did not decorate the beaches on this island, so I just didn't really want to. I didn't feel like it was super necessary for this theme. But on the other side of the fountain we have Able Sisters. I kind of tried to make Abel's match Nook's Cranny as much as possible, but the style of the exterior just kind of didn't lend itself to me being able to completely cover up Nook's Cranny, so this I feel like was the best I could do, and I do like the way that it turned out. I really wanted to display a couple of my favorite custom design outfits as well, and those are actually in my Pinterest, so that's also linked in the description below, and there's a ton of different outfit codes there if you're ever looking for some custom designs to use on your island. But next to Able Sisters is this very antique little sewing area here, which I just love using that antique sewing machine. I think it fits with this theme so well. Before we continue to that other part of the island, we're just gonna go up the street here and get a closer look at the museum. Like I said before, this area was so challenging to do, but I feel like the statue in the center really tied everything together so beautifully. I really struggled with the limited space and the double incline here, but I'm really glad that I just kind of stuck with it and just, let it happen, because I am pleased with the way that it turned out. I think the black flowers look really nice here as well. The only thing that I found to be maybe not as good is the way that the pathing turned out up here, but I did decide to just kind of let it be what it was going to be and just not worry about it too much. But next to the museum is Nan's house, and for Nan, I really wanted her to have a little bookstore over here. I did actually decorate the interior of her home. It was one of the only villager homes that I did decorate the interior of, so she's actually not home at the moment, so if you wanted to check out what her interior looks like, I'll go ahead and link that video that speed built above so that you can see. But the outside is just this very vintage little bookstore here. I think Nan is such a cute villager. And then on the other side is Chev's house, and I just love Chev and Nan together. I think that they are so perfect. I really wanted them to be sort of neighbors on this island, and for Chev I wanted her to have a little plant shop, so I gave her a green door on her home, which I think looks so good with all of the plants. I love those little greenhouse items as well, and the plain party lights leading up to her house was one of my favorite things to do, one of my favorite uses of that new item. So I had so much fun just using all of the plant items for that build. As we go up this incline, we have the rest of the little villager neighborhood. This is going to be Eric and Flurry's home, and I've customized them to look exactly the same. I just love the symmetry of this build. I tried to keep it very simple again, gave them some mailboxes with the tiny library items, some places to sit, some laundry hanging, nothing super groundbreaking or crazy, but I do feel like the result is very simply beautiful, which is exactly what I was going for. We can actually go down on the other side here, and I'm going to go up to the front of this canal build. So I felt like this build was another build that the symmetry of it really challenged me. I had no idea really how to decorate this area because it was so symmetrical, so I just decided to kind of go with it and create a little painting area on either side of the build, as well as some little shops in the background. So we have a newspaper stand and a little like music supply store back there, but I love the way that the triple bridge looks here. I felt like I just had to do a canal kind of build like this, especially on a loosely European island. I feel like it's just a necessity. But as we continue here, we have another little centerpiece, a place to sit with a statue, and then we have a makeshift building over here that I created using the gazebo and the storefront items. So over here we have the school. This is Robert's home. I really wanted to decorate a school on this island. I couldn't believe that I don't think I've ever had a school on any of my islands before, so I really wanted to incorporate them on this island. Also, hello to that balloon, just taking over the camera view, but we'll go ahead and check out the inside of Robert's home. So inside we have I was going for like a cozy, realistic feel with the inside of the school. I love the new blackboard item that we have in the 2.0 update, and I wanted to create like a little cozy sitting area. We have a hamster as the class pet. I love the rain boots in this room as well. I just feel like there's such a cute and realistic little detail. I had so much fun making the school. I can't believe I've never really incorporated a school on my island before. I just feel like that's so strange to me. I also really like the white rugs in this room, just kind of framing the area with the desks, but definitely realized they would never stay white in real life. Alright, so just kind of continuing along with our tour, we are headed into the Cul-de-sac neighborhood. We have a little soccer field here, which I thought was a kind of a cute detail for a neighborhood. And the first home in the neighborhood is Kiki's house. For her, I wanted to incorporate these like milk designs. So I've given her like her own little milk factory or milk delivery service, which is a little bit goofy, but I do think it turned out really cute. These codes are just so beautiful. And her home is the first home in this little cul-de-sac neighborhood. I've never built anything like this before, and it was so challenging. I did customize all of the homes here to look exactly the same except for the color of the doors, which I think adds a lot of continuity and kind of like which I think kind of added a lot to the build. But the villagers living in the cul-de-sac are Ellie, whose home we have here, and then we have Olive, Pashmina, and Kiki. You'll notice I did try to put out villager photos for all of the villagers because I did customize a lot of homes on this island, so I wanted you guys to be able to easily tell who is living there. But we have a little land bridge that leads to the cul-de-sac, which I think is so cool. It's very simple, nothing crazy with the terraforming there, but I love the street lamps kind of being symmetrical on either side of the bridge. Our last couple of villager houses here are Raymond and Eugene, and I wanted them to be together because their homes look very similar. So we have Raymond's home here with a lot of dark wood tones and kind of black items to accent his home. We have Nan with her soup, that's so cute. And on the other side, we have Eugene's home. I know it doesn't necessarily fit the theme, but I really wanted to create a farm somewhere on this island. So I made this very small little wheat farm for Eugene, which I think is really cute. I just really wanted to use the farming items somewhere on this island, even if they don't necessarily fit with the theme. And then this back area is a very simple, we just have some trees, bike, a little place to sit, and then we're gonna head down to one of the final areas on this island. We have another little aisleway here. Flurry is admiring that flower, which is so cute. And this is going to lead us to the ice skating rink. So on either side of the ice skating rink, we have a little cafe here to get some coffee or hot cocoa and warm up after you've been skating all day. And then on the other side, we have a little place to rent some skates in case you don't have any. So I did get that idea from someone on stream, so thank you so much if that was you. You guys have seriously the best ideas. And then here is the ice skating rink. I love the way that this kind of bridge illusion looks in the background. I believe this was from Museville on Instagram that first did this, and I think it looks incredible. It really makes the build. This is the only section of the island I think that looks even a little bit Christmassy. I think that it looks really elegant and beautiful in the end, and I just had so much fun with this one. Next to the ice skating rink, we also have this little gelato stand, which was one of the first kind of areas that I built on the island. It's very small and kind of simple, but I just thought it was really cute and kind of touristy. And I do want to mention before I finish the tour that I know that I don't have the campsite. I hid the campsite on the beach. I just didn't want to bother with it, so you'll have to excuse me for that. There are a lot of areas that I just didn't feel like decorating on this island. But that is going to take us to the end of this tour of Foxgrove 2.0. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you all so much for coming along with me as I decorated this island. I just appreciate it so much. I do also want to mention that I know what one of the themes are going to be for my next island, but I really want to hear from you guys. I'd be really interested to do kind of a subscriber's choice island, so definitely let me know in the comments below if there's a theme that you're interested in seeing me try here on this channel. I would love to hear your suggestions. But before we say goodbye, I do want to take a second to thank the members of the Fox fam for supporting this channel. I appreciate you guys so much. You can also support the channel by liking and subscribing and hitting the notification bell if you'd like to be notified whenever I upload. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!